All right, so our last days of systems, we're going to talk about three variable systems one last time, and these are the tough ones. This is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, and if you do not stay organized, it makes it even worse. There's also multiple different directions you could go to solve it, so go slow, be careful. I'll give you some suggestions along the way. Remember, we have a work day after this and then review day, so we will have plenty of time to ask questions. So it says solve the system, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm pretty sure that there are no fractions answers on these or on your homework, so if you get a fraction, you might have to start over. And I've had to start over on these a couple of times, do lots of erasing, so don't feel bad if you have to. We have three variables here, and unlike yesterday, all of our equations have three variables, so we need to make it to where we can have some equations with two variables so that I can solve for one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two of the equations and do two different problems and break them down into so I can get some equations that I can solve for. So there's several steps here. First, you kind of want to figure out what variable you're going to want to get rid of. If I look up here, I think this equation right here will be pretty good for a couple of things. So that's what I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to try to get rid of z's because I got a negative z here, and that'll make it easy to eliminate z's in the other equations. So what I'm going to do first is rewrite that equation. 2x plus y minus z equals 2. And then I'm going to pick my next equation. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So I'm going to write it here. X plus 3y plus 2z equals 1. Now that is not exactly what I had to do first. It's just what I'm doing this time. Now I want to cancel out z, so I need a negative 2z in the top one. So I'm going to multiply it by 2. And I'm going to come over here to the right. 2 times 2x would be 4x. 2 times y would be 2y. 2 times negative z minus 2z. And 2 times 2 equals 4. Now I'm going to bring over the other equation. X plus 3y plus 2z equals 1. And when I get all that down, the z's go away, and I'm left with just x's and y's, which is what I'm looking for. And I get 5x plus 5y equals 5. So there's one of our equations. Now, you can do something here, and this is kind of just a trick, or since there's all 5's here, I could just divide it out. And we could use the equation x plus y equals 1. And I think that's a little bit easier, but everything would still work if you use that one. So there's one of our equations. That's not an answer. It's just a step getting there. So I'm going to start over another one. I'm going to use the same equation as I started with on the top. But now I'm going to use that third equation, x plus y plus z equals 2. Now I can go ahead and cancel, because if you notice, the z's cancel out immediately. I get 3x plus 2y equals 4. And if you notice, now I have a system of two equations with just two variables. I have x's and y's. So now I can use those equations to find one of my answers. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start all over. I'm going to use x plus y equals 1. And I'm going to use 3x plus 2y equals 4. Now I want to cancel something out, and it looks like you have some options here. I'm going to multiply the numerator by negative 2. That way my y's will cancel and I can find x. So let's rewrite. Negative 2x minus 2y equals negative 2. And then 3x plus 2y equals 4. The y's will cancel. I get x equals negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Now I have an x, and everything else is just plugging back in. I'm going to use any equation that I have with x and y. I can solve for y. So I'm going to use this one. That's 2 plus y equals 1. You subtract the 2 to the other side, and you get y equals negative 1. So now I've got two of my variables. I'm going to go to this equation right here because it was pretty easy. I'll plug in my x and y. So let's see, that is 2 plus negative 1 plus z equals 2. 2 plus negative 1 is 1 plus z equals 2. And then when I subtract the 1, I get z equals 1. So my answer is 2, negative 1, 1. Now, they take a long time to do. That's a lot of work, but there's not a whole lot of these. Go slow, take your time. I promise it's not as bad as it seems. Let's look at another one, or the only other one. And there's a little bit of a hint here. Rewrite first. This is all messed up. Like, we wanted x, y, z equals a number, so I want to rewrite them that way first. So on the top one, I'm going to move the y to the other side. So I have x minus y plus 5z equals negative 6. The middle one, I need z to come to the other side. So I subtract it and get 3x plus 3y minus z equals 10. And the last one's already written right for us. Now here's where your decision comes. You need to make some decisions. If you're not careful, you might eliminate the wrong things and it might make it harder. So really kind of look at what can be eliminated. Now what I've kind of decided to do is I'm going to try to eliminate the x's this time. We've got a couple with just x's here that would be easy to fix. Y would work, z would work. It's just what I'm going for in my equation. So I'm going to start. Let's see. I think I'll take 3x plus 3y minus z equals 10. And then the equation I want to use, how about x plus 3y minus 6z equals, minus 2z. I'm getting ahead of myself. Equals 5. And I believe, 5. All right, so now, again, I could eliminate whatever I want here, but I'm just going to pick the x's this time. That's just what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and make it to where that works. I don't know what I just picked there, sorry. There we go. I'm going to multiply that by negative 3 so that I can get the x's out of there. So I'm going to come over here, 3x plus 3y minus z equals 10. And then I get negative 3x minus 9y plus 6z equals negative 15. Now the x's cancel. 3y minus 9y is negative 6y. Negative z plus 6z is plus, I put a minus here. It should have been a plus, so that works out over here. That makes this a minus. Sorry, that was all my fault. Minus 7z equals negative 5. Sorry, it's really easy to miss a negative. If I can do it, you can do it, so do your best. All right, so we got one of our equations down to 2 variables. Now let's do another one. The next one I want to use, I'm going to use the 3x plus 3y minus z equals 10. And I'm going to use the x, the top one, x minus y plus 5z equals negative 6. Need to be very careful when I'm writing these down. So again, I want to eliminate the x's, so I'm going to do a negative 3 right here again and rewrite my equations. 3x plus 3y minus z equals 10. And then let's see, that would be negative 3x plus 3y minus 15z equals positive 18. The x's cancel, and I get 6y minus 16z equals 28. So now I've got 2 equations with just y and z, and now I can solve. So it looks actually pretty nice because if you see, I've got a negative 6y and a 6y. So let's see what this looks like when I write it out. That's negative 6y minus 7z equals negative 5, and 6y minus 16z equals 28. Let's see, the y's cancel. I get negative 23z equals 23. I want to divide by negative 23. I get z equals negative 1. And now we're going to work our way backwards. So there's my z. There's not a whole lot of great options for this, so you just plug it into whatever you want. Let's see, I plugged it into this, the negative 6y. So negative 6y minus 7 times negative 1 equals negative 5. That's negative 6y plus 7 equals negative 5. When I subtract the 7 from both sides, I get negative 6y equals negative 12. And I'm going to tell y'all this is where people have been messing up with misadding or subtracting. When I divide, I get that y equals positive 2. And now I do my last step, which is plug it in. I used a lot of room here. Let's see, I don't want to know what my x is. Let me change colors, and I'll zoom in here. So I plugged it into the x minus y plus 5z equals negative 6, and I got x minus 2 plus 5 times negative 1 equals negative 6, which is x minus 7 equals negative 6, and I got x equals 1. So my answer is 1, 2, negative 1. That is a lot of work, but every step of it is doable. Watch your signs, go slow, watch your arithmetic. If you have any questions, let me know, and if not, good luck.